The God of Time with no name, Light's real name. Chapter 1. Lots of stuff and a psychic dog. The God of Time with no name, Light's real name revealed. Again, for the backstories, see my stories Light and Dark, The Adventures of Dark Yagami, and Pain Note, The Resurrection of Ray Pember. They are good and also have sex scenes and stuff which are awesome. Please read them, not exclamation point. This story is pretty long and scary in bits and sexy in some bits too, so you should read it with a hot glass of coffee or tea or coke or something and enjoy. It's like a novel, except not dull, semicolon bracket. Chapter 1. Adventures in Time with Lindell Taylor. Wales, England! The sun was happy and flying in the sky when the moon came up and it was night. Underneath a fire hydrant, a dog was having a whiz. Roger came on the dog and kicked it. Fucking dogs fuck me off almost as much as kids, he shouted to himself as the dog tailed off with its ram between legs. 2,000 miles away in the past! It was a happy day for El. He had just been promoted from K, and to celebrate he was going to have a party with lots of drugs and prostitutes and balloons and invites all his friends. There he would propose marriage to his wife, Weddy, who was pregnant with twins and loved him and did lots of sex, and he had bought her a ring with a diamond the size of a soccer ball because he was rich. Also, he was going to retire and live a happy life free from crime. Just one more thing before you retire, said Quill Swami, playing with his gun and combing his mustache all fancy. You have to go on the television and say Kira is evil and arrest him live on the television. No problem, he grinned, fingering his wife's ring. I will arrest him and the world will be free from Kira and I can live happy with my wife and my 3 children and a dog Freckles who is an Albashun/Dalmatian Mongol with some Labrador in him and I love so much. Hello, I am Lindell Taylor, he said live on television. I have discovered Kira is in Japan. I know his real name is not like Yagami, but— Oh no! He will reveal my secret to the world, said Light, who death noted him harder than he'd ever death noted before. Org! Tell my wife I love her and my dog. Now I will never retire except for to the eternal bows of hell. Watsony, who was watching this on TV, started crying and said, With El dead, who can save the day from the scandalous bastard Kira? Not so fast, old man, shouted a small, tiny man dancing into the room with a bowl full of candy in his guts and another in his hands. I am the new El. At the funeral! Weddy was crying real bad and she was going through Kleenex like a tank goes through Kleenex. Her belly was all fat and her belly button was poky out because she was already pregnant with twins and another was on the way. He was always so mellow, so my first child I will call Mellow. And he was always near me, so the next one I will call Near. And he was always my mate, so the other will be called Matt. Eve Wyron was sad, even the dog Freckles, who was crying more than any dog had cried before, and it was so sad that it made people cry even more, and soon everyone was crying, and they ran out of Kleenex and had to use each other, which was sad, but also sort of erratic, and soon everyone was turned on and sexting while crying. 12 years later, back in Wales! Freckles, did you guess that the dog taking a whiz was Freckles? Looked sad and Roger and melted his heart, but not literally, but since Freckles had psychic powers he could have, but more about that later. I know it is sad that little died and I kicked you out into the street and had to survive eating garbage and dead pigeons and Big Macs, but then you all is allergic to dogs and also you have psychic powers and I can't trust you with them till you prove yourself by finding the Winchester bomber from that Beyond Birthday book and maybe also kill him. So Freckles ran to Winchester to find the Winchester bomber because his psychic powers said that he would be there and there was only 12 hours until the bomb went. Back on Mars! Again, Pain Note, the Ressurekshun of Ray Pember explains all this, but basically it's the future and lives on Mars and he has a time note that travels through time and there is a naked Shinji-kan called Sex, get it? Semicolon dash brackets. This scene is quite graphic in places, but not like M-rated or something, I'm not a perv. Hey Sex, said El, do you want sex? No, Shinigami cannot have sex even with humans, even if they are like relay horny or something. But you are a Shinji-kan, not a Shinigami. Sex looked shocked and fought for a minute, which is like 2 minutes on Earth because Mars goes around the sun faster. El looked at the moon, which was high, so he knew it was night, and Shinji-kan were sexiest at night, even though they were quite sexy at all times, even like in the middle of the day when it was all sunny and not night, so no one was in bed sexing. Okay, I have checked the rules and I can sex, so I will sex like you've never sexed before, which I haven't. Nor have I, said El, except for all those prostitutes. So El took off his spacesuit, revealing a pair of boxers that were covered in sugar and chocolate from when he was eating food in them. Sex used her magic Shinji-kan powers to make herself even nakeder, even though she was already naked because she was magic. Then El took off his magic boxers to show what was under them, and even Sex was shocked by how large it was. Wow, El, you're so big, I thought you would be small, but you're big. It's because I eat lots of sugar and work out 3 ATMs a day at the gym. Then they sexed on the surface of Mars, which was dangerous, but they were safe because the nearest city was miles away and the farmer was on holiday in the sun. That's the Mars sun, not the Earth one. A Mars sheep came over and chewed sex green here because it looked like grass even though it was hair. L did it like 7 times in 5 minutes because he was so good. In winters! Freckles the dog looked around the empty street. There was nothing except the governor eating some fish and chips in a red phone booth because it was Eggland. Big Ben chimed midnight and a bomb went off, except it didn't because Freckles disarmed it. Curses foiled again! Yelled the Winchester bomber, jumping out of a pub, holding a wench in one hand and a wrench in the other, shouting mean words like burgeration and craptabulance. It was Matsuda! :0. See this thought to me again for the next chapter soon. I will post when it is written soon.